Hey, you guys. How's everybody today? So, my headphones decided to not work on me at the last minute. Um, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. Um, just would have to start right now. So yeah, it looks like I'm not going to be able to hardly hear tonight. Let me just make sure that my volume is all the way up on my computer so I can hear. Come on. Well, shit. This would have to happen now. Okay. Well, so I'm not sure what's going on with my headphones. I'm a little upset about that. Hey, Fluffies. Hey, Paranormal Magnet. How are you? Hi, Gina. Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much. Hey, Julie. So much for being here. I apologize for my technical damn difficulties tonight. I'm just not sure what's going on with that. So I'll have to figure that out afterwards. So tonight is I'm supposed to have 3 special guests tonight. And they are officers that has had their paranormal experiences on duty. And I'm thinking, yeah, I know. I don't understand. I don't know. I'm going to have to, but they're brand new. I don't understand what's going on with that. So, I'll have to deal with that after. I'm not going to try to get upset about that now. So I have, like I said, I have some officers that's had some paranormal experiences while they were on duty. I'm hoping I have one scheduled for 8:15, one for 8:30, and one for 8:45. Now, everyone who knows me knows that I'm an officer for 23 years. I'm in the state of Florida. And I had a paranormal experience while I was on duty. And now Officer Kibby, he's supposed to be in at 8:15, but he's the one, he used to work with me down in Monroe County. And he saw the same ghost as my first ghost. So if you guys don't remember, I can tell you guys again my story of what happened. And this is how I became a paranormal investigator as well. And at the end of the podcast, I do have some news about me and Patty. We have some really cool shit planned for Monday and Tuesday night. Yes, we're very excited. We have 2 different places. One place we've never been to, they actually contacted me yesterday. Apparently, they have a poltergeist in their house. And they want us to find out if it's good or bad and get rid of it. So we have quite the night, Monday night. And then Tuesday night, we're going to a place we've been to before. And we haven't been in a while. And we've been really wanting to go back. So we are going there as well. So we can't frickin' wait for Monday night. I'm telling you. It's going to be so exciting. So, anywho, if you guys want me to tell my story again, I can. Just give me a thumbs up or shoot me a bird or something, and let me know if you want me to tell my story again about the first ghost that I've ever seen. And that'll get the officers started. Okay, so I can't remember what year it was. I think it was like 2006. I was down in Monroe County, which is the Florida Keys, and I was down there for 8 years. I was a road sergeant, and we were hired to, they were doing a commercial on the No Name Key bridge. It's a beautiful bridge. They were doing a car commercial, and they hired a deputy to stay on either side of the bridge to watch their equipment overnight to make sure nobody stole anything or messed with it. Good Lord, my neighbor's dogs. And so I'm actually got a little DVD player sitting on top of my computer, and I was just watching a DVD. And keep in mind, no name key in the Florida Keys is so haunted, but they have no power. They are strictly solar. So it's super dark. They don't have road, the lights on the road. I mean, it is just pitch dark out there. So it didn't click to me that I see this little girl walking up to my car. Like, she's just strolling up to my car. And to me, it's an officer safety thing. I don't let people approach me while I'm sitting in my vehicle. I always try to get out when someone's approaching me, because I don't know if they have a weapon and they could pew me and anything like that. So I always get out if somebody's approaching my vehicle. So I'm getting out. It's at like 3:30 in the morning, something like that. I'm trying to talk to her. I'm thinking she's 12, 13, maybe snuck out of the house. And I asked her, I was like, are you sneaking out of the house, or do you need a ride home, or are you lost? Or, I was just trying to, hey, Kathy. So I was just trying to find out some information from her to try to get her back home or whatever. So she wasn't talking to me. She wasn't answering me. I get out my notebook and, what's up, trauma? So to get the night started, I'm telling my very first paranormal experience. So, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't feel scared at the time. She was wearing black pants and a white shirt. She had brown hair parted in the middle. Like if my hair was parted in the middle, which I'm not going to overlay. Let's see. Parted in the middle, parted in the middle. And it was just, she was just standing there, and it was a white shirt and black pants. And so I got out my notebook, and she just wouldn't answer me, and she's just looking at me. So I start looking her up and down to try to write down a description of her. And as I get down to her feet are in the relaxed position. She's barefooted, and her feet are probably 6 to 8 inches off of the ground. So she showed herself to me in whole form. I saw her feet hovering up off the ground. Y'all, I jumped backwards into my patrol car. And as I was driving off, she's just not there anymore. She was just gone. So I haul ass to the other side of the bridge, and I pull up to Henry Del Valle. He was another deputy. And I'm like, Henry. And he's like, you saw her, didn't you? I tried to get him to come on tonight, but he was busy and couldn't do it. So, but he's a paranormal investigator now too. And he's been on the Travel Channel, Paranormal Caught on Camera, because it fascinated him as well. But I was so fascinated after that night that I wanted to hunt ghosts from then on there. So anyway, he was telling me that she comes up to the police cars. Well, we come to find out that her case had never been solved, and her body was found out there in a ditch. She was 15-ish. She had been kidnapped and sexually battered, she was tied behind a vehicle and drugged for several miles behind the vehicle, and then she was dumped out there. And they never got to solve her case. So she goes up to patrol cars, like almost to be remembered, and so people will like help her, maybe. This is what Henry had told me. And anyway, he told me that the dispatcher that was working that time, her name was Lynn Faircloth, I think. Lynn, she's on my Facebook. She knew about it anyway. And so we called her on speaker, and she told us the whole story, and she sent me the report. She sent me the report. And because it was back in the 80s or something, it's only the report narrative of the report is only good for so long. So I couldn't read the actual narrative part, but you could go in and see all of the evidence they found, where they found it, what it was. Like, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So I have been fascinated since then. And yeah. So I sat over there on that side of the bridge, I think, for the remainder of the night. I didn't go back on my side because I was scared she'd come up to my car again. And I didn't know what to do because I knew she wouldn't talk to me, and she would just stand there and stare at me and float. So I didn't go back on the other side. Oh, we'll see you later, Tigers. So, yes. So I'd love to take Patty down there, and but God, if it wasn't like a 10 or 11 hour drive, I would have had Patty down there again. But like, that's a long drive, and the state of Florida is just so freaking long. And God, we drove to Louisiana. It was a 9-hour drive, and that was just terrible. So I can imagine how an 11-hour drive is, because I'm way up here at North Florida by Georgia, and that's way down in the very bottom of the United States. So I don't know. I don't know if a ghost that floats is called a floaty. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I know trauma. 14 hour. But I mean, you guys had stuff planned and you made stops. Like, I don't have enough time to be able to stop here. Let's stop at my brother's house and stay overnight, and then mosey on, and then stop at the best friend's house and let's stay overnight here. I don't have that kind of time. I have only like a weekend to get down there. We'd have to drive a whole day and have one day and then drive back, all like right there. Well, see, that's what I'm thinking, Christina. If I would love to try to find like a little flight down to maybe Miami or Fort Lauderdale, and then just drive from there, because it's only like two and a half hour drive from there. And I've got places to stay. I still have really good friends down in the Keys, and they're like, "Oh, come stay with us." And shush your mouth, trauma. So I can't remember what her first name was. And I tried to Google it, and some other chick is coming up that was missing from down there. But this case was back in the 80s. And like, I worked with some of the original detectives that, did it just pop back on? Nope. Okay. I don't understand what's going on with my headphones. Hey! So Kibby just popped in. You guys probably know his name from Kibby being in the lives and everything. But he's the one that worked with me down in the Keys. So let's welcome Officer Kibby.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, what? Really? Is my headphones working now?
I don't know. Are they?
Oh, they are now. They weren't working before. I don't understand what's happening with my headphones.
Are you having a
They
blonde?
weren't working before, so that's I could be having a blonde moment. Yes, it's very possible. So everybody, this is Officer Brian. And you want to tell him a little about yourself. He did work with me in Monroe County, but he moved on from there as well.
Yeah, I got brains and decided to leave. Well, I've been doing this 18, close to 19 years now, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm up in a little itty bitty city in Central Florida and running a shift. And I have seen some weird, fucked up shit on duty.
Yeah, well, I just did tell them about my no name key ghost again. That's how for my first and only paranormal.
Oh, I got one for here. We call it the monastery. It was torn down about 2 years ago. The story goes as a woman on her birthday, they had rented out this monastery kind of place, courtyard in the center, running outside buildings. And as she was walking up the steps, she tripped on her veil, fell, and broke her neck and died on her wedding day. And that she
Oh
haunted the
my
place.
God.
So we always took the new guys there to screw with them. But I went out one night with the night vision goggles, and you could see in the heat signature of the wall a cross. And there was no cross beams there. We checked the floor plan, and it looked like it was dripping wet. They took it off, shot light, completely dry. There's a cross. We're like, okay, maybe it's a little inky. 2 weeks later, we go to an alarm call. As we're walking through, it's got to be the middle of summer, and it's freezing inside of this entire building. There's no AC, there's no power. Hasn't been for 10 years. Doors and shit. We're like, yep, we're good. No alarm here, no problem.
Just get the hell out of there.
Oh yeah, you didn't sit in ports there. You're like, nope, I'd rather have a colostomy with a red hot poker.
Wow.
And now I have my own people, and I send them to check out those calls.
Is it still there?
No, it's torn down. But I've gone out there at night, and you can sit there and just, even with your lights on, you still get the freaking heebie-jeebies sitting anywhere near it or on it.
Yeah.
You're like, nope, I'm good. I'm going to move along now.
Well, he can tell you guys that no name key is very haunted. You've been in no name. Yeah. Oh yes. Do you remember that girl's name?
The one that died?
Yeah, the ghost from No Name Key. Remember when she was drugged behind the? Remember?
I know.
I didn't know if you knew it. I knew.
Not what her name was.
Shit, I can't remember.
I know we used to get taken down there as rookies, and we'd park at the very end where the 3 warning signs are. And
the red ones, yeah.
One year we sat there and went, you know what? Let's mess with our rookie that we had. So we stood behind it with flashlights, and we were clicking flashlights. Put that car in drive and was spinning tires.
We used to go down. Okay, you know where the 3 red at the dead end there. And do you know if you sit there with your headlights on, just aiming at the red things, you'll see a shadow walk between the headlights.
10 a copy. You can go ahead and break somebody from that miscellaneous call. That's a priority.
Copy.
People are ready. Right. I'm sorry. They are challenged, better known as retarded.
We've always got that one.
That one person.
That one person that drives your shift crazy. I'm usually that person.
Oh, I have 2 good ones. Bless his heart.
I tell y'all though, me and Kibby had a good time working together.
Yeah, ask her how she get people to stop talking in Spanish on a traffic stop and talk in English. That was freaking geek. I want to let your lover know we're not lovers and you speak English. Let's continue.
Still do that.
You
It
have.
works.
I don't.
It works.
Listen, now I'm just gonna actually smack him with yeah, where is it? Hard to see, but entire new tattoo on the right forearm. Odin's Raven
What
coming
is
down.
that?
I have a Grim Reaper with a thin blue line cloak that comes down into Odin's Raven, holding a Norse compass. So
Awesome.
one of the ravens is on one side. I'm putting the other raven on the other side.
Oh, gotcha. What do you mean you're shocked to hear that? So you pull people over and you walk up to the car and they're, oh, me no peaky English, me no peaky. So we call them no peakies. So I would write them the ticket anyway. And I'd go back up to the car and you have to give them their 3 options. So I tell them that they are more than welcome to come back and bring me to court with this gay lover. We're not gay. Oh, but you speak English.
No problem.
Or I would tell them that something on the back seat's on fire, and then you'll see them all turning around like this. Oh, do you understand me though? I catch them that they know what I'm saying.
No comprende, no comprende. No problemo. Fermi aquí arrestado. Oh, sí, I signed. Yes, you signed there. I've had it to where guys was listening on the phone when I had my phone going. He was somewhere else on a call, but on a talk around channel, I'm listening to him. He's like, oh, he's saying this. He's saying this. Oh, this is what he just said. Yep, he said this, that he doesn't know that that you're stupid and you don't know that he understands English. So he goes, tell him to say this. So I would repeat it back. And the guy looks at me. I'm like, now that we understand each other, we can finish this in English.
That's right.
How do I go? White boy, I go, just because I'm white doesn't mean I don't know how to speak another language. So let's try this again, shall we?
Yeah. It was funny as shit, though. Were you working that night that I pulled the guy over with Trooper and he was spanking it? He was 66 in the 35 there. Did you come back us up on that?
I didn't come back up on that. I was working the night that a certain trooper pulled a guy through her back window down at the 11-mile marker because he decided to kick out her back window.
Who?
Josephson? Sue?
Oh, yeah, Sue.
Yeah, we rolled up just as she grabbed him by the front
Sue.
of his belt, pulled him through the window, and he like folded like a taco. And we're like, we got it.
She's awesome.
Like, this is why we put parts in our window. HB, take note.
Oh, so much fun. So much fun.
6 more years, and then I can hang up that fun.
2 years, 4 months. Double barrel.
Turn it up.
Y'all see my new cup?
There's a sheet that says, I don't have any resting bitch face. I just have a face that needs, I'm just a bitch that needs rest. Tell my wife that. She goes, I'm like, well, I don't doubt it.
So anyway, so no other paranormal experience except for the keys and then where you're at now?
Yeah, I try to screw with my new guys, the ones that have dead body problems. So I'll onto a call and, oh God, I think I turned one sheet white. He was checking the body. And I didn't warn him that dead bodies tend to expel sounds. And it let loose At the same time, I raised the guy's hand up because I was looking at something, and he took off running out of there. I mean, granted, we were in the freaking morgue at the time, so that may have played a small part, but I've never seen somebody go through a doorway without touching the ground for like 6 feet straight. It was great.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you one of the thing with a 7 that I learned, and it gives me the creeps to think about it to this day. When we as officers have to show up to a call to someone who has passed, but it's been a little bit, and they get into the rigor mortis. And the one lady was sleeping and with her arm behind her head.
Just 14. We're going to have TV.
And the EMS, the ME has to come in and move them. And you can hear, I was standing in the doorway, and as I'm watching, you hear bang, bang, snap. You can hear all the bones breaking as they're moving. I can't. I could hear that sound in my head, for days. The cracks, the pops.
Oh, I did CPR in a 97-year-old, and I broke 6 ribs in the first push.
Oh.
I was like, oh, snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah. It's so creepy. The sound of a bone breaking is so loud outside of the body, you don't understand.
Oh, yeah. I've had them where they lived, car crash, walking across the road, walked in front of 2 motorcycles, caused a motorcycle to drop it. They caught the motorcycle on their shin. So when we were doing a wash down, I'm like, hey, look, it's Chip a Shin. Hey, FD, can you hose it down, please? She walks with a camera. I attribute it being lighter on one side versus the other.
Oh, man.
And she happened to be the friend of the person that I hit.
Oh, gosh.
And then I almost hit another one last. Stepped out in front of me on our main road, and I'm just looking, and I hit the air horn. They turned and looked at me, gave me the finger. I turned on all my lights, and you just see them drop their head like, oh crap. I'm like, look, I already hit one person in the last 24 months. I don't need to make it a double, okay?
No.
The theme song was playing, Separate Ways by Journey. I swear to God, I'm just pulling the fucking car over from now.
Oh, the shit that we see.
For those that don't know, I was involved in a pedestrian versus my patrol vehicle on duty, and they stepped out right in front of my vehicle and right in front of the headlight. It was ERT. Everybody's, why are they out and about? Why are they out and about? Like, I don't know. The meth in her bra might have been a clue. What do I know? Don't say a lot.
And I see somebody right up here about the smell. And you're absolutely right. Let me tell you. It's when they've been there a while, that's shit. When they say it's a smell, you don't forget. They ain't lying.
You remember Stock Island? Guy went down with his boat on a Friday. His friend saw the boat go down. It was like Hurricane Wilma. No one called. And then they're like, hey, Monday, they're like, hey, we haven't seen him or his boat. Okay, when's the last time you saw him? Well, when the boat went down Friday, went down 200 pounds, he came up almost 5.
Isn't that the guy that got had chunks out of him by the shark?
They had to cut
it was
the side
under the 7 Mile Bridge.
No, this was down on Stock Island. They had to cut the side of the boat open, get him out.
Okay, yeah, different one.
He popped.
I remember the guy that went to jump off the boat because he forgot something, but he forgot to take his weights off. And at the 7 Mile Bridge, and they couldn't find him until like 4 or 5 days later, and he had big chunks out of him from the sharks.
Yep, I remember that.
Oh,
I remember the guy in Stock Island. He decided he was going to beat up his girlfriend at his grandma's house. He ran inside with spray, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm an airman. I'm going to do what I want." And he hit pepper spray. He didn't bet on grandma taking the fucking broom, and head it bent. It's one of those old hollow metal ones. It was bent over his head, and when we got on scene, it was me, big guy, and then one of the little guys is he spoke like 50 different languages. As soon as we got on scene, we just see pairs of hands come around him. He goes, "Help!" and they sucked him back in. We're beating his ass.
No, I don't remember all that.
Oh, he offed himself a month later on one of the bridges in the North Keys. Did a drive-by on the house, got in a pursuit.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was same
We
guy.
were chasing him, and he shot him. He offed himself while he was driving.
That was our guy from that DV.
Yes, I remember that. I do remember that because we were chasing him, and he did it while he was driving on the bridge.
No process in the interest of death.
Yep, I remember that. That was J6 Szymanski's very first day with us, and he was with he was with Derek Paul.
Mm-hmm.
His first frickin' day as a rookie out of the academy. Imagine that being your first day.
We got in fucked up shit in the fucking Keys all the damn time.
Yes.
My first
we messed up.
Corzin. Remember Greg Corzin?
Yeah, I like Greg Corzin. He's cool as shit.
My first FTO, we get a guy that was a witness to a failure to return. Guy calls back drunk later saying, "Hey, he's fucking here," and blah, blah, blah. And he started making the dispatchers cry, calling them everything. Says, "Hey, he's got an open out of this county. You want to show him some love when you get on scene?" Absolutely. We go walking up the steps, had the radio turned down, had my face to it, and you hear confirmation received. And he went to turn to bolt back in the house. I grabbed him by his neck and his belt, threw him over me at Craig down the bottom of the stairs. Craig caught him like, I guess we're putting him in handcuffs now. I'm like, sorry. Take him to the jail. He's like, "You guys have a screwdriver?" I've only been a cop for like 6 hours. I'm like, no. He goes, I got a dick stretcher attached to my leg. When you don't know what the fuck it is, you're at the intake going, "What the fuck?" And they're like, they walk out with bolt cutters. "All right, let him off." He passes out.
Yeah.
Like, "You want to see?" "Nope, sure. I'm just gonna do the paperwork." Downhill after that.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my God. It's amazing.
Well, I so much thank you for joining us tonight, Kibby.
Much appreciated. I got to go check on my chitlins
Now,
now.
actually, put a face to you when you come alive. Yeah. Please be safe tonight.
What the heck?
And yeah, stay safe, and I love you, man. And I'll be talking to you soon.
All right, sweetie. Y'all be safe. Have a good one.
See you later. Oh, I miss working with him. We had so much fun working together. I remember when we had our downtime and we would meet, because he was down in District 1 and he would have to come over the 7 Mile Bridge, and I was District 4. So we would meet right there at the 7 Mile Bridge. We've actually we took limes. I better not. I better not. No. Anyway, we would have gotten in trouble for that. God, we had so much fun. So I'm waiting. Okay, so Kibby, and then Big City Lieutenant Vinny should be coming in. I told him around 8:30. and he is in New York, and he's like 30 years. Isn't that right, Trauma? Didn't he say he's like 30 years in law enforcement? I can't remember what he said, but he's like 30 or 32 years in law enforcement, and he's supposed to be coming in here any minute. Yeah, it was something like that. But he's the one, if you guys come in like the TikTok lives ever, and you always hear us go, "Hey, Lieutenant, hey, LT," that's who we're talking about. So he should be coming in anytime. He did confirm he got the link, and was coming in tonight. And okay, so then the 845, his name is Mike. He is an officer here in Florida as well. He's going to have to, it's going to be up to him if he tells you who he works for. But I've worked with him. We've been on some calls together, and we've been friends for quite a while. And then he ended up going to a different part of Florida. But we keep in touch, and he comes into my lives also as the Saint 305. So he has some paranormal experiences too, and he's supposed to be coming in around 8:45. So I guess I have to come up with some shit to entertain y'all until they pop in. I could have let Kibby stay in here, but he was on the radio, and I know it's kind of difficult to, pay attention to your people when you're, doing this. So I just wanted him to be safe and not get in trouble or anything. So, but now y'all can put a face to Kibby. I think Kibby's wanting to come to our next meetup as well. When we worked together in the Keys, I was a road sergeant down there, and he was a deputy. Tell us a story. One time at band camp. No, I'm just kidding. I did play the flute, by the way. But nothing happened at band camp, I'll tell you that. I could tell you another funny cop story while we're waiting. I've told y'all my on-duty paranormal experience already. So, okay. So I'm also a field training officer. So I think it was Bill Wiltsey. He is now in the Tampa area. He was coffee a lot. Did you hear about the sick cop? He was coffee a lot. Coughing. If y'all haven't seen, this is my new cup. I'm a ray of fucking sunshine. I had to get it when I saw it. I couldn't. Okay, so we were at the 7 Mile Bridge, and we saw a car pull in there. It was real suspicious. So we actually parked across the street down the hill, so he wouldn't see us. We wanted to walk up on him. So I don't know, like 11 o'clock at night. So we park over here, and we walk across the street, and we climb up the hill, and we're going up there. And I go to the passenger seat, and he was a rookie. So of course I was making him handle the call. We both hit we both hit inside the car with our flashlights at the same time. So the guy didn't even know I was on the passenger side. This fella had just come from the adult store. He had a toy plug in there that he was sitting on in the driver's seat, nude. And he had a chihuahua in the car seat and the Chihuahua was licking it. So when the lights came on in the car, I was on the passenger side of the car, so I could see what he was doing with his hand. And he reached up and pulled it out of his hiney and put it into the back seat on the floorboard. So that's what I said, that poor damn dog. But he was over there willing to, I don't know if the guy had peanut butter on there. I don't know what, so it ended up, he had just left the adult store and had bought these toys, and there was another toy in a bag in the back seat. He hadn't even got out yet. So, the shit that we come up with, the shit that we saw in the Keys. And no, the dog was trying to bite us. Like, that was a mean little, he was one of the mean Chihuahuas. Like, he was mean. And yeah, so that was, and he wasn't, the crazy thing is he wasn't breaking the law. So we just identified him. We got his ID and made sure he didn't have any wants or warrants. And Julie, he could have needed peanut butter in his chocolate. So we let him go. I mean, he didn't have any warrants. He wasn't wanted. He told us that he was not happy at home and he was out for a pleasure evening without his wife, is basically. So we let him go, and we just did an ID card on him. Oh yeah. Oh yes, I have. Yes, I have. Paranormal Magnet, or I'm sorry, Emily. Yes, Emily. Hey, Terry. Okay, so it was my first Signal 7. If y'all don't know what a Signal 7, it is a body that has passed, and it had been in there. Okay, so we had, her name was Cece too. Get that? She was a Black female. Her name was Cece. I was a rookie. I was fresh out of the academy. This was in Belle Glade. This woman had come up missing, and we had been looking for her. I don't know. She was one of the local, how do I say it? Night women, the pleasure for your pleasure. She's out at night for your pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, hey, David. So anyway, we get a call of a suspicious smell, and it was myself. You guys have heard me tell my police stories with the sergeant that had to drop his pants to get off the fence. That's Sergeant Reed. And it was myself and Sergeant Reed and Sergeant Owens. And Sergeant Owens was the canine sergeant. So the three of us went to this call of a suspicious smell. And I will tell you right now, you can talk to every cop that works the road. They don't like suspicious smells and like a 10-4 check on people. Like, oh, we haven't heard from our grandma for 2 weeks, and can you go by and check on her? Has the same name as me. I've never come across that. Other than, okay, well, Cece, okay, well, no, I mean, it didn't bother me because, I mean, it just wasn't the same. But yeah, ladies of the night, that's how you can call it. Yes. So anyway, we got a call of a suspicious smell, and We went to the area and boy, we could smell it. And we had to walk around this neighborhood and to find where the strongest smell was coming from. Well, we found the building and it was an abandoned building with the wood on the walls, like it was the wood in the windows, like a abandoned building. Like it was just everything's closed up. So we had to kick this door. And so when someone passes, they sort of like an animal you see on the side of the road where they swell up and they explode. Well, she had done that already. The maggots was every orifice, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the eyeballs, the, lower parts. She had a gunshot wound in the back of her head and she was laying face down. The smell would hit us when I ran out and was puking in a tree. The sergeant was puking in the bushes and he would try to talk on the radio and you could hear him, and that would make me puke some more by hearing him puke on my radio. And then I don't know what Sergeant Owens did. I don't know if he puked or the dog. I don't know what. I have no idea, but I know Sergeant Reed puked because I could hear him on the radio. And that was my very first. I think I was like a week out of the police academy. Never had seen a body. Never knew what the smell was. That's when I learned what it smelled like. Yeah, it was not pleasant. We ended up having to go in and out. We had to what's the word? We had to close everything up and not let anyone in. We had to guard the door. Anyone who went in, we had to take their names. This is what you do on a scene. The investigators had to come in. They had to find, to do all the investigation and stuff. I don't know, but I just tried to not pay attention. I don't know. Yet I've never known how to explain that smell. I think it was the whole, when you see it and it smell and you see we call it moving rice. Yeah. So when everything's all together and yeah, I don't know how to describe what that. Have you ever like if there's a dead animal? Have you ever? I mean, it's close to that, but I don't know how to explain. Like it's worse than that. Oh, have you experienced it, Fluffies? Yeah, we call it moving rice because, they're little maggots. You know what that looks like. And we call it moving rice. So yeah, I really don't know how to explain what that smells like. But I'm telling you, if you smell it, you'll never forget it. You will never forget it. So Vinny never showed up And he was the one that was most excited about this. I planned this, I scheduled this around them today, and I thought it was going to be Kibby that couldn't show up. And I thought for sure Mike would be here, and he's late as well. So yes, it is. But the human body it smells, it's similar, but worse. Like it's still not this, does it? I mean, you have to think like, okay, when everything stops and you're laying there and the blood stops flowing and moving and all of that, and then it settles, and that's what you call the lividity, and that starts, God, what is it, Terry? Probably you'll start seeing lividity within about 6 to 8 hours or something, right? And then it goes through, and lividity just looks gross. It just looks gross because, your blood's not flowing anymore. So it just settles down. If you're laying on your back, then your whole back, it just settles on the whole back side of your body. And then from lividity, you go into the rigor. And that's where your body gets stiff and hard. Yeah, your body turns black and purple. And whether y'all know this or not, your blood is actually blue. When the oxygen in the air hits it, it turns red. Yeah, you can't explain that. You can't explain it at all. Yeah, it's, yeah. Yes, and the top of your body. Okay, for instance, if you're on your back and the lividity, that's because all the blood in your body is not flowing anymore, so it just stops and it settles. So the whole back of the body that's touching the ground is black and purple and blue, and the whole front of your body turns white because there's nothing there. And it is sad. But this is what happens to your body when it stops. Yeah, I think that's the lividity. It takes about 12 hours, I think, right, for a rigor? Vicks? Oh, no. Mm-mm. Okay, maybe if she has a mask on. Okay. Now, the sheriff's office that I used to work at here, you can't just put one of those white masks on. That doesn't stop. You can't I learned my lesson about Vicks. I'll never use it again because Vicks opens you up. I was close with the mortician. He said if someone decomposes and the fluids come out, they call it soup. No. Oh, no. Did you feel any of the bones cracking? So I learned my lesson about Vicks salve. The Vicks. I won't use it ever again because it opened me up like I could smell everything. So it smelled like sort of like when you fart and then you spray pine and it smells like somebody shit a Christmas tree, right? Okay. So it smells like that smell with minty vapor rub stuff. Like you can smell everything. Now, this department had the sealed where it's with the thing, not just the white masks. It actually, you couldn't smell nothing. How did we get on this conversation? Oh dear. Well, Vinny and Mike has dissed me. Dissed. I remember correctly. The jaw popped when the mouth. Yeah. Yes. Yes. If they're in rigor and you move any part of their body, I don't care if you just go, you're going to hear, you can hear all the bones breaking. Yes, I do, Emily. When you're an officer, you get that call and you have to go, whether it be on a car crash or in a house or they were found on the side of the road, or it doesn't matter. When you get the call, you go. Yeah, the mask with the respirator on it thing. Yes. No, Vicks doesn't help. No, I'll never do Vicks again ever because it opened me up and I could smell it. Just smell everything. It was worse. Oh, you talking about the CC girl? I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't remember. I don't know if they found out who did it, if it was one of her John's, what do you call them? Her dates. Maybe it was it could have been a drug deal gone bad. I mean, I don't remember. That was 23 years ago. I was literally like a week out of the police academy, and I really don't remember. I would have to probably ask one of the guys that was one of the detectives from back then, because I still keep in touch with a few people from Belglade. So I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, whatever. Probably, but she probably did that and they didn't want to pay. You know, I mean, I don't know what the case was. I really don't. But apparently she had been in there and it was in the middle of summer and I really don't remember. And I'll tell you though, we had to throw our uniforms away because we washed and washed and washed them and we couldn't get the smell out of the uniforms. So a lot of officers, and they'll tell you if they go to a scene that's really a stinker, they have to throw the uniform out. Ugh, yeah, no. Yeah. Mm-mm. I can't. Nope. And I don't look forward to going to those calls. I really don't. I hear a call like that coming out on the radio and I'm just like, no, please. Suspicious smell or, you know, a 10-4 check on someone. And we cops don't like going to those because we don't know what we're going to find. Oh, they want to know which bones, Terry. Have I ever cried on the job? Oh, yes, most definitely. My 14, oh. Oh, oh my gosh, Spirit Stalker. I am so sorry to hear that. Oh my gosh. You know, Spirit Stalker, that's the same exact way that Patty lost her son. I'm sorry. I'm speechless right now. I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to you. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I'm sure she knows then. Yeah, okay. Oh gosh, I'm just devastated for you. I'm so sorry. Oh, my heart goes out to you, spirit stalker. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get off this subject. We don't have to sit here and focus on bad stuff. Um, but yeah, yes, I have cried on scenes before. I've had to make death notifications, and I'll bust out crying along with them. And I can't tell I can't go tell someone that and not get upset. And I have cried with people. Um, I can't really think of stuff. I mean, I do remember those. Um, I have not actually cried on a lot of scenes. That's a lot. That's the scenes mostly that I've cried from on. There's a lot of calls that I've gone on though that when I get home from work, I totally, I totally lose it. Like I can't believe this just happened today. I had a call, a couple of calls, mess me up to where I couldn't eat or sleep for 3 days. Like it would just constantly replay in my head back. And people wonder why cops are just nasty. Uh, you know. Anyway, we're going to change the subject, and I will tell you guys. Me and Patty have some really good fun stuff planned for Monday and Tuesday night. Um, One place is a place we've never been before, and they actually contacted me to come and see what was going on inside their house. They have a poltergeist. I can't say where it is, but we're nervous, but we're excited, and I think you guys will really enjoy that. We're going to take all necessary protection with us, you know, all the necessary precautions to protect ourselves. And we're also going to work on protecting the house. And we're going to see if we can try to help this spirit cross over. And because they want it removed, and once we get there and we find out what's going on, and if it happens to be a little more evil or don't want to leave, then we'll bring in a priest with us and we'll see what's going on with that. But I think everybody will enjoy that. I'm sorry to hear that, Tigus. That would be one of the calls that I've gone on. Somebody couldn't get in touch with their loved one, and then they call us to go and do a check on them. Anytime we get a call like that, then we have to walk around the house. We have to try to look in the windows. We have to try to call the family members. If they want us to break in, then we have to call the fire department, and then we have to get permission. Can we break the window? Can we break the door? Anything like that we have to take those extra things to try to get in, to see if they're in there, and stuff like that. So. But anyway, I completely apologize that Mike and Vinny didn't show up tonight. And welfare checks. Yes, that's what it's called. I say the 10-4 checks. Yeah, but welfare checks and suspicious smells are the two calls cops don't like to go to. Oh, God, David. I have no idea about any of all this with y'all. I am so sorry. to hear all that. Let's not talk. My podcast is supposed to be like uplifting and funny, and let's not talk about this sad stuff. And my heart goes out to all of you. And I really thank you guys for joining tonight. Apologize. I'm glad that Kibby showed up, but Vinny and Mike did not. So I'll cuss them out tomorrow. And I do have a couple miracle stories, but I don't have time to tell. Maybe that'll be one of my podcasts is cops with miracle stories. They'd like to come on and talk about the good things that's happened to them on duty. Some cops have delivered a baby in the back of their car, stuff like that. Or I'll that's a good one. That's a good podcast title. So we'll do that. I don't know if a ghost has farted in my car. I fart in my car, and I've had inmates fart in my car. So I don't know about a ghost has fart in my car, but I think we'll try to do that and have some officers come in and tell miracle stories. I'm gonna come on, my pen. I think that would be a very good, uplifting stuff if we did it that way, right? You got some, Garza? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast. And I just thank you and love all you guys. And thank you so much for supporting me and joining my podcasts. And let's see, what's today? Wednesday. My next podcast will most likely be Monday night because I'm on day shift right now. So my days are limited. So Monday night, we'll have a podcast. And thank you so much, V Team. Fluffies, you're silly. It might make you an airhead if you get Dutch ovened. Yeah. All right. Everyone, I hope you have a wonderful evening and a good weekend. I'll be working all weekend. And we'll see you Monday night. And I'm probably going to stay live on TikTok for a little while longer. And if you guys want to come and join us over there, we'll be silly for a little while longer. So bye, y'all. There we go.